And in this story, only on 12 tonight, we revisit a story first told by the late Ron Brown to Newswatch 12 viewers. A Southern Oregon woman has dedicated her life for the search of her brother's remains after he died during the Vietnam War. Newswatch 12's Cameron Baber spoke with her and her family about the search and where they are now.
In early 1973, Linda received the news that would change her life forever. Her brother, Mickey, who was an aircraft commander, died in Vietnam, the last helicopter to be shot down in the Vietnam War, just 2 weeks before he was supposed to come home.
And this one always made me sad. This is him sitting in the barracks in Vietnam.
Only being 22, Linda knew she wanted to go to Vietnam to say goodbye, honor her brother, but also to find her brother's wife.
I just wanted to go there to just have a service, find the crash site, and just try to have some closure and see if I could find Mary. He called her Mary. Her name was Ham Thi Chow, but I did not know that at the time. Because I not only lost my brother, I lost my sister-in-law. And they were married in December. I have the marriage license. And we were told they couldn't find her.
Linda has been to Vietnam 12 times. With her first visit in 1996, she knew she would be back to figure out what happened to her brother's remains.
When I left, I said to myself, this isn't over. I'm going to be back.
Linda and her parents didn't hear a word about her brother's remains until 24 years after the crash in 1997, and this was after she visited Vietnam. The government presented Linda's family with a book of what was left, 5 teeth. Linda's father, who also served in the military, had a hard time accepting this.
It took 3 years for my dad to accept it, and he still didn't. But what they said was, if you don't accept it, then it was like a circumstantial, thing, all of the 4, that they would put him in the tomb of the unknown soldier. Oh, wow. So my dad accepted it, but he didn't accept it, not in his heart.
With no DNA evidence that those teeth were Mickey's, Linda's family wants his full remains.
And this is Ron Brown filming, and we're at the crash site on the river.
Over the years, Linda has met veterans who were also confused with Mickey's death. One man she met, Bob, a 39-year retired veteran helicopter pilot, has reported that the 4 men who crashed survived but were executed, and one of those men was Mickey.
I've heard so many stories, but I've never heard the truth. And that's what makes me mad. I don't care if it's wrong. If they say, well, we changed the story and we had him go over here and we shouldn't have done it, and that's okay. It was a war. But just tell me. Don't make up stuff. And those guys that executed him, I don't blame them either.
In these reports, they believe these men were not supposed to be killed and were buried near the crash. Now, 50 years later, Linda is still on the hunt for her brother's remains, but was successful in finding her brother's wife, Mary, who is living in Memphis, Tennessee.
Who's now 27. That's me, and that's that little boy, the one that's son.
With Mary's help, they believe they found the burial site of her brother and the other pilots. In Linda's most recent trip to Vietnam, they found something.
I see a piece of cloth. And I pull it, and I pull it, and it's a pair of pants. And I didn't think anything of the pants until I got home. And I have pictures of them, and I told Bob, did you get the pants? No, it's 50 years. Why would, the pants would be disintegrated? He said, no, they don't, Linda. He said they're made of a fabric that never goes away. It's like a plastic bottle.
Not giving up, Linda asked a friend in Vietnam to go retrieve the pants. Now, she's patiently waiting for a package from Vietnam with the pants inside to send off to get analyzed and to see if they are U.S. soldier pants.
And see if there are remains there. And if there are, then I am going back when they exhume them, and they're not going to get out of my sight.
And the pants being the key, too.
Yeah.
That was truly the American pants, soldier pants.
Linda says the last to be lost should have been the first to be found.
And right now, they owe me. They owe Mickey. They owe my parents to go over there and find out what's there. I mean, what harm can it do? None.
Linda has dedicated her whole life to finding the truth, and she hopes that this will lead to what she's always been searching for, her brother. Reporting in Medford, Cameron Baber, Newswatch 12.